Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for Thursday's episode. Well, I woke up this morning, looked out of the window, absolutely torrential rain. I think it had been going all night, to be honest. It was chucking it down when I went to bed last night as well. And I'm thinking, it's going to be another day thinking about staying in and not doing anything tomorrow. And I had my coffee, had my wake up, watched a bit of news like I usually do in the morning, catch up on the world's news, and then it stopped. Sunshine, bright blue skies, wow, that's it, I'm going to the allotment. But first off, I always call at my parents' house on the way to the allotment, and they'd picked me up this fantastic oven. It's like a hob but oven type thing, and living on my own, I don't cook very well, and I've just started trying to be pretty healthy. I'm on a fitness regime, a healthy kick, and I've joined back up at the gym and I've been set my meals and everything like that, and I'm not very good at cooking, so I needed something easy to cook, like my chicken and my mincing and stuff like that. So they brought me this massive pan with a top on it, and it's absolutely fantastic, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a sec. So I went and collected that, had my morning coffee, had my morning catch up with them, and then I went off to the allotment. Still fantastic outside, beautiful weather, and what I did, and then as soon as I got there it started chucking it down. It was windy and horrible. So if you remember yesterday, I posted a picture on Instagram of it being absolutely beautiful, and then next minute it was chucking it down, and I said I'm not posting a sunny picture again because then it'll chuck it down. So I posted a wet and windy picture and sure enough, the sunshine came out for an hour, and I thought, yes, it's worked. This little bit of magic has worked. So I wanted to tick off another job on my list for this week. So we got moving fast, and we got moving all the stones from around my plot and putting them around my pond to create the frog habitat, because frogs like to hide under rocks and stuff like that. And so we moved all them, and I completed that task. The last task of that pond is to put some plants around it and hopefully get some aquatic plant to go inside it as well, to give it some oxygen as well. So that was another job ticked off. So then again, it started raining again. I knew it was forecast for the full morning, so I expected it. So I went into my shed, watered all my seeds because they all were bone dry, and I've started getting a calendula through. They've started sprouting the seeds through now, so it's all starting to grow, which is good because I've not used cling film on them this year. Usually I wrap them all in cling film to keep them warm, but I've got that many seed trays, it would take forever to wrap them all in cling film. If they don't start sprouting soon, I might have to do that just to warm them up and to keep them moist. But we gave them all a good watering, and I should hopefully be at the allotment tomorrow before I start my night shift. So then I won't be down for 4 days. I possibly may go down on the third day, depending how warm it's been. If it's been warm, I'll need to go down to the allotment to give it a water, but we'll see what temperature it's like, and if not, I won't be down at the allotment for 4 days, as there's nothing much I need to do at the moment apart from water my seeds indoors. So we got all that done. While I was cleaning out my polytunnel yesterday, I found a load of seed labels, what I'd purchased when they were cheap, and it's just what I needed because half of my seeds weren't labelled up, so we went round labelling them all up. Usually I just put whether they're runner beans or whether they're pumpkins and stuff like that, but I'm actually putting the names of the plants down this year so that I know exactly what I'm growing and the variety. So then if it grows well, if it's really delicious, if it's nice, I will be able to grow that same variety again and recommend it to other people, obviously, if it's grown well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some good varieties growing this year. So we got them all labelled up. That was another job done. Then our next task was to pick some rhubarb. Because I've got this new oven, I thought, why not try, on my diet plan I've got strawberries, blueberries and yoghurt, 0 calorie yoghurt. So I thought I'll get some rhubarb to use in it as well, rather then I don't have to use the sweet strawberries or the blueberries sometimes. But yeah, I thought, why not pick your own veg and use that for it, because it's free then. The more things I can grow what's on my list, the better. So I've picked some rhubarb, I brought it home, I tried cooking on it on this stove, and wow, it's fantastic. It took about 5 to 10 minutes to cook my rhubarb. I didn't cut all the chunks thin, like some were quite thick, and yeah, it cooked it all the way through. And now either I can put some in the freezer to freeze for another day, or I can put it straight in the fridge and use it as needed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it. I filmed it, obviously, so that I can do a little Instagram reel and TikTok video or YouTube short, because that's what everything's all about nowadays. You have to keep up with all this social media. Getting old and using this social media, wow, it's certainly getting harder. I'm not doing no dancing yet. Watch out for that. So yeah. But tomorrow looks a fine and decent morning, so I'm hoping that my wood isn't too wet, and I'm going to start doing my painting tomorrow, and then that's another job starting to tick off on my list. And I'm really ploughing through it this year, and I can't believe how fast I'm getting things done and completed. I'm certainly putting in the time, the effort and the motivation to get it done, and I think it's all my followers that are encouraging me to do all this stuff, that's making me want to do it and encouraging me to do it. So I really do thank you for all the support and all the messages that you give me, because it does give me that boost and push to get things out there and get showing you, because I can't just keep showing you the same photos all the time. I have to show that I've been doing stuff, and I appreciate everything that you do say and all the messages that I do receive, so thank you for that. So yeah, that was some of the jobs done. And another job I did, I filled up all my bird feeders, as the birds are absolutely loving them. It's going to cost me an absolute fortune buying all this bird seed, but it's definitely worth it, I tell you that for sure. And I'm looking at getting different varieties of bird seed to attract different birds down to the allotment. The only birds that I've not seen yet are blackbirds, and my dad used to feed the blackbirds in our garden with sultanas. So I went across to the supermarket yesterday and bought some sultanas, and I filled up a bird feeder with that, and I've also made my own little plant pot holder. I've chopped some of the top off a broken one and hung it on my tree and put some sultanas in it. So we'll see if they take any, and we'll see if it starts attracting blackbirds to my allotment, because I really do want to see blackbirds. They are a nice bird to see down there. So if there's any recommendations of getting more rarer birds down to the allotment, let me know what sort of seeds to put out, and I will get them, because I want to see some rare birds. That would be absolutely fantastic, like woodpeckers and stuff like that. So please do share with me any tips and advice on feeding birds, as I know nothing about bird feeders. It's all new to me, and the more I learn, the more I'll keep sharing with people. And yeah, yesterday somebody shared with me how much they enjoyed listening to that podcast and encouraging me to buy some bat boxes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting some bat boxes eventually, and some hedgehog houses. That is one next thing on the list. And then I've also been watching the TV this morning, and it was talking about ladybirds, and I forgot, yes, I need to look after the ladybirds as well. So I need to get some ladybird houses, or I think you can actually make them out of canes, but I'd like a proper one. You know me, I'm no good at DIY, so I'll probably purchase one already made and get a ladybird house as well, because obviously they go around eating all the green fly and all the aphids, and keeping them down as well. Ladybirds are good for the garden. Obviously there's the bad ladybirds, what I think eat the good ladybirds. But you can't win with wildlife, you certainly can't. And yeah, it's like Mr. Ratty on my plot as well. Whenever I'm feeding birds, Mr. Ratty's going to be around, and I saw him today watching me and peeping at me. I even managed to get a photo of him, so I might have to post his picture later, just to show you what he was looking like. But he does look really nice. He's a really nice looking rat, to be honest. It's like a light brown with a white on it. It's really nice to see. But yeah, he's not causing any damage at my plot at the moment, so he's safe. While ever he's not causing damage, he's pretty much safe on the plot. I'm not going to upset him. So yeah. Right, so I think it has been a pretty much short podcast today. There's not much else to talk about. We will be back with another podcast on Friday, before I start my night shifts, and then they will be pre-recorded Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, as I do like you to keep getting your podcast fix, and I know people enjoy listening to them, and from the messages I receive, people absolutely love them. Love listening to them driving on the way to places or in the garden. It's fantastic. So if you're new to this podcast, please do click that subscribe button, please do click that follow button. There's a lot of people out there that haven't clicked it yet, so make sure you click it. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.